Alright guys, today we're going to do section 1.7, perimeter, circumference, and area. Take a minute and write down the section title and try this warm up here. Alright, the difference between area and perimeter. That is the perimeter, is the fencing, and the area would be the space in the middle. So if I were to shade all this in. The next slide has a bunch of formulas. Hit pause and I want you to write down all of this slide. The main thing you need to get out of this section is fairly straightforward and simple, is just being careful of remembering the formulas and inputting your values of your variables properly and using order operations and simplify. Alright, solve the perimeter and area of this rectangular basketball court. So they just said rectangle, so go back, look at your formula for a rectangle. And they asked for both, so we're going to copy over our two equations. So perimeter is 2L plus 2W, and area is L times W. A lot of people get confused and say which one's length and which one's width. It technically does not matter. In the picture here, I always do the length as across. So that will be L. I should change my color here. So I'll call this one L and this one W. Take a minute and plug them into your formulas. Alright, it should look like that. Take a minute and simplify what the perimeter is. If you got 268 feet, you are correct. For area, you are doing the same thing, plugging it into the separate formula here. Always put parentheses around whatever you are inputting. And go ahead and finish that off and find what the area of this basketball court is. For the area, it should be 4,200 feet squared. Units for perimeter is to the first power. Units for area is to the second power. Alright, take a few minutes and solve numbers 1, 2, and 3 using the formulas from the previous slide. Taking a look at these before starting, what are the three different shapes that we have here? What types of figures are they? The first one is a rectangle, the second one is a square, and the third one is a circle. You are finding both the area and the perimeter. Alright, take a moment, look at the answers for numbers 1 and 2. Notice that the area has the units squared in both of them. Number 3 is a circle, so let's go back to the slide with the formulas on it here. We are given the radius because it's going from the center of the circle out to the side of the circle. So 2 is our radius. So we're going to use our equations for area is pi times radius squared. And perimeter is 2 pi r. Keep pi in your answer. So for this, area is pi times 2 squared. So pi times 4. We don't write it like that. We write pi after our coefficient. So area is 4 pi yards squared. And perimeter, 2 pi r. Our radius is 2. This one is the same answer, but it is yards squared. Alright, word problem. Take a minute and read this problem. Alright, things to circle. Rectangular plot, and they want a fence. The plot is 45 yards by 30 yards. So draw a rectangle to illustrate. They are asking for area and also fencing. So how much area do you need to cover with grass seed? Area is length times width. So 30 by 45. Go ahead and find out what the area is. If you said 1,350 yards squared, you are correct. Fencing. Fencing means perimeter. However, they throw in this thing here. How many feet of fencing? And they gave us it in terms of yards. So first find your perimeter. So perimeter of a rectangle is 2L plus 2W. Hit pause and take a minute to find what the perimeter is in terms of yards, what they gave you. Alright, the perimeter of your rectangular plot of land is 150 yards. However, 3 feet are in a yard, and we want to know how many feet of fencing. So if 1 yard equals 3 feet, that means there's going to be a lot more feet of fencing instead of yards. So we have to multiply the 150 by 3. If you want to see how that works, 150 yards times, draw your conversion here. Yards are being canceled, so you need to put 1 yard on the bottom and 3 feet in the numerator. You can always put 150 over 1 if you'd like. That way you see you're multiplying by 3. You can always do that if you need to. 150 times 3 is 450 feet of fencing. Alright, last problem. The base of a triangle is 28 meters. Its area is 308 square meters. Find the height of the triangle. So we have the area, 28 meters squared. Not 28 meters, 308 meters squared. And we have the base. Area of a triangle is what? What's the formula? 1/2 base times height. We have the base, it's 28. We're looking for the height, and we have the area. Fill in what you know. Now we have an equation of just one variable. Simplifying both sides. 308 is equal to 14h. What operation would you need to do in order to get rid of 14? If you said division, you are correct. 308 divided by 14 is 22. So your height of your triangle is 22 meters. Alright guys, that's all I have for you guys today. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day. Thanks guys.